time. They said, okay, I'm going to come and speak in front of all these people. I mean, people are intimidated, and the media is a powerful thing, and people are afraid of it.
But it's not the community
Ansel.
coalition to decide, right, whether people are going to be uncomfortable or not. That's not their decision to decide. If a person is uncomfortable, they just don't say anything. It's that simple. It's not that difficult. If you are uncomfortable with the mic in your face, right, you have the option to not say anything.
Yes, but their goal in these small forums, this is why they have those small forums with these small tables.
So don't make it public. Make it private and only invite certain people. So you can say it's a private.
Well,
for example,
it's public/private in a way.
No,
wait a minute. I'm going to tell you why. Because I say it's public, yes, because it's public notification. It's free. And that way it's public. It's public notification. Everyone knows it's happening. But it's private in that only certain people are going to be there.
No, that's not true. You don't know that. You don't know that.
Based on experience.
No, but you don't know that, though. You can't say that. You could say that, but you don't know that. You don't know if only certain people are going to be there. You don't know who's going to show up. You don't know that. I don't know that. It could be, half of those people could be all new people. 10% of the people could be all new people. You don't know who's going to show up.
All right. But you know what? Listen.
I don't know and you don't know.
Okay.
So to me is that if you feel like you don't want to listen to the mic, if you don't want to be on the radio, you have the option to say that, I'm not going to say anything. But I guarantee you, 95% of the people are really and truly not going to be concerned whether the mic is there or not. You know why? Lots of people, like to hear themselves on the radio.
Well, you know what? I think that one of the speakers, one of the people who presented yesterday, the young woman, I'm not going to call her name, and I appreciate if you didn't, who said pretty much that we need to go out and infiltrate various communities, be those college campuses. So black people need to go out there and be amongst people and show them how we really are. Something to that effect, And everybody applauded that. I wish I had exactly what she said. But it was something to that effect, and it sounded really good. And this was the only person who got up and spoke and was applauded. This kid. People would applaud that because it's an integrationist approach. It's an integrationist approach. Let's get out and be amongst other people so they could see that we are just as good, or you're a human, or we're positive just like they are. Just like they are. I'm as good as you. And people applauded that. When I was young, I understood that. I said, well, I almost thought that way. Mm-hmm. I could be the only black person in the room, and then they will see that black people aren't what they think they are. It's an integrationist approach. And that's what the community coalition is about. And that's what their goal is, and that's what they do. This is not, I'm here to help only black people. They want people to be happy with one another. They want white people to feel comfortable, and they want black people to be okay being around white people.
You serious about that? Are you serious about that? Or are you just kidding?
What do you mean? It's about integration, Anselm. Let's not okay, we're going to have, we're going to build a school for only black. They would not support something that. They're about integration.
So the next time the community coalition has something, I should stay away.
That's not what I'm saying. I think probably their next thing would probably be their festival in the summer.
I
You
don't
know,
thi-
outside of those little.
I don't think they want us to broadcast that.
You broadcasted it last year.
Yeah, but I spoke to Barbara and I was going to charge her and she didn't get back to me.
Oh, Anselm. I think that you're taking it very personal, and just recognize,
Personal. Yeah, it's
you're
not
taking
personal.
it personal.
It's not
because
personal.
they tried to get to you or through to you through a personal person to you.
They're trying to silence me.
No, they're not going to try to silence you. They just don't want you going into tables at their event. That's all. I'm just, giving you them. It's not public. It's public, but it's not. Because they try to say that they want intimate settings. They say they want intimate settings. So we're going to sit around a table with 8 people that you don't know. So you're already at a certain level of discomfort. And
we're gonna advance that way.
Their belief is that integration can occur if it's a one-on-one thing. So you talk
in a room, quiet, in a quiet room.
It's a one-on-one thing. It's not a push. It's a one-on-one thing. So let Tyrone
how far?
talk to Broderick.
Right. So how far? What is the statistics to show that works?
How it works and why it works. I don't know if it works that way and people become friends that way. Any friends of mine that are white did not come through that vehicle. They just happen because I have no problem talking to anybody. But again, we've had this discussion where you've asked, well, what have they done? What they have done is helped create a racially semi-balanced community where you have 30% of the people here who are black. And
from a living perspective, from a community perspective.
And they have managed to make many white people feel more comfortable.
Okay, right. So part of their goal.
And they're comfortable. The white people who come and who have been coming, who are, activists and
artists and
political people in the community, are more open. So if somebody has a problem, there's a bunch of unruly teenagers, they will call a coalition, hoping that the coalition will help them figure stuff out. They're not going to do anything that's dirty.
They're not going to be like Pop. They're not going to march in front of Columbia.
No. I mean, if anything, they would try.
They try to go inside Columbia and try to work things out.
That's exactly.
So listen, can we
But you know what? Now, I mean, I don't know. I'll save some of this conversation between you and I. But what they've done, what they want and what they do, that works for them. And if that's the page you're on, that's okay. I don't think they were coming after you. I do believe that they feel that people feel uncomfortable with a microphone.
But Margie, you cannot, you could. But you should not get into a person's minds to figure out how they feel because you don't know. You don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know how those people feel. I don't know. And if
what
a
do
person,
you mean you don't? What is it that you?
I don't know if a person feel uncomfortable or comfortable with the mic.
Oh, people always feel uncomfortable with the mic.
No, you can't say that though. You can't say that, but you really don't know that.
No, that people feel uncomfortable with
Margie, if 5% of the people out of 100% feel uncomfortable, right?
No,
of course, there are people going to feel.
Probably the other way around. Whenever you get your
you have statistics to prove that.
Oh, I mean, you have analogies all day. If you have your students, you say, get up and you stand up in front of a class and speak. Yes, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I do it 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem doing that, especially with teenagers. No problem standing there and presenting information and knowing all eyes are on me. You tell one of your students to get up. I said, look, you get up here and do this for me. Then they start, public speaking is a fear for many people.
But if you put a mic in front of some
It's the
people's
same
face,
thing.
some people, many
Some.
people,
But I mean, we could, what the statistics are on how many people are afraid of public speaking is one of the biggest fears that people have.
public speaking, yes. But that doesn't mean to say if you put a mic in somebody's face.
That's the
You
same
say-
thing as public speaking,
Okay.
and sound, even though it's
All right.
faceless. It's the same thing. This is why, I guess, maybe why actors and other types of celebrities are given so much credit, because they can actually get up and have everybody look at them. They want everybody to look at it, like the loudest kid that you have, loudest student, the most obnoxious person. And people are afraid of presenting information in front of others. So I understand that fear. And the coalition is doing they're doing what they say they want to do. They're creating, this a certain mindset among a certain type of people. But they're not revolutionaries, Anselm. They just aren't.
So I think I got it all wrong then.
I'm not saying that, honey.
No, I'm.
But I mean,
as far
but
as
we've
what
had
they're
this
trying to do.
conversation before. We did these. This is what they do. They're integrationists. They're not revolutionaries. They want people.
No, I don't want them to be revolutionists. I
Okay.
don't want them to be revolutionists.
They're not, trying to upset the apple cart.
They have a schools committee. If you have a schools committee, so the schools committee, even if the school committee is talking about integration, doesn't integration means to say that they should have close to equal amounts in certain areas of the school?
Listen, you can't change the way they think. They
I'm
might.
not trying to change
No.
anything.
They might. I mean, I'm not on their schools committee. I don't. I mean, I've had my opportunities and I have my apprehensions about them. Not them in particular, but I mean, I've looked at things in the past and in the future, and some of those people are cool with me. I don't think any of them are not cool with me.
No. Let me quickly listen to this. Our goals. Our schools are racially integrated and have closed the achievement gap. Students of all races are achieving academic excellence in equitable and representative fashion throughout the public school system. Right? Well, we know this one. All neighborhoods are racially integrated and truly inclusive in Maplewood and South Orange Avenue.
See? They have succeeded in what they've wanted. They have white people who live on the other side of Springfield in Maplewood. Mm-hmm. They got black people who live up on the hill. They've made sure that the realtors are doing the right thing. That is what their goal is, honey. You can't make it more than that.
So when they say racially integrated and have closed the achievement gap, they're not talking about more kids taking AP classes in order to close the achievement gap.
No, if you look at the numbers, if the achievement gap was 26 inches wide, and today it might be 20 inches wide or 21 inches.
It might be 32 inches wide.
It might be 32. But when, I mean, things, do get better in societies. But, I mean, it's not closed. Did they say they closed the achievement gap?
No. I'm not saying that they say they close it. But I don't think the achievement gap, well, I don't know.
But then they're not trying to overthrow any, if you want the people who come out against the things that you want them.
You got to go to South Orange Maple parents of African descent, right?
Which, again, but then.
What's their Facebook page? Do they have a Facebook page? I couldn't find it.
They do, but I don't know. I mean, I have difficult time finding things on my iPad. I have to be on my laptop.
But I tried everything. I couldn't find it.
You don't think it exists anymore?
I just.
Because somehow on the laptop they'll say groups in which you belong to, not groups that you have pages or groups that you belong to.
So let me Google it. South Orange Maple parents of African descent. Is that what it is? Right?
I think that's what it is. Yeah, man.
So
you just give if somebody says what they're about, when they say that, you learn what somebody is about and don't expect anything more or less than them from